everyone, it's Lily from Tim's Puppet Pals. Congrats on finding the hidden castle in Kingdom of Wishes. I'm going to show you some of the props that we used for this show, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. So here is the classic King's Crown. This was a little bit of a nightmare to find. We started filming Kingdom of Wishes and it was nowhere near Halloween. Thankfully there is a year-round Halloween store like an hour away from our house, but they didn't even have this. We ended up ordering this online, and we didn't want a plastic crown. This is actually metal, not very sturdy metal. It's definitely been bent a few times, and it just adjusts, it slides, because we had to use this for Titus, for Tim, and for me, and so it was good to have something that was adjustable. We usually ended up taping it. We had it taped for a long time because Tim wore it most of the time, and then we'd use like a bobby pin or a hair clip or something to keep it all the other times. But it's seen a lot of wear and tear in just the 5 or 6 months that we've been working on Kingdom of Wishes. Next we have the guard's helmet. This was worn by the Purple People Eater, and it was a little big for him, and this we did get at the costume Halloween store an hour away from our house, and it's just plastic, and I mean it's not super great quality, but we didn't need something super great quality. We just needed to show that he was like a guard and was able to battle. Then we have Gaffen's sword. This was a sword this is not the sword that Tim owned as a child, but he told me that it's very similar, the exact same sword, and it's just plastic, and it actually has a lot of detail for a plastic sword. It's got some like carvings on the blade and on the handle, and this is the sheath, and this leather, I don't know, strap that we used to keep it around Gaffen's neck was just laying around, so we used that. It wasn't very high tech. We just had a paper clip and we would tighten it and stick it through one of the holes when we had it around Gaffen's neck. And then this here is the guard's stick thing he's going to beat you with if you're in his way. This was also from the Halloween store, just kind of a creepy goat skull thing, but also plastic and pretty versatile, I guess. And then we have the ever important flute. We ordered this online. You can find a lot of flutes at like Toys R Us, but they're always plastic and look not very handmade. This one doesn't look super handmade, but it looks more handmade than a plastic one. It is wood, and it has some scratches, I think, from where we acted like Duffledock was whittling it, but I can't really find them. But anyway, it does work. It can actually be played. It's harder to play than most recorders, but yeah, pretty good flute. And we forgot it once, and that was a really big pain in the rear. Then we have Duffledock's knife. This was a knife that Tim got when he was a kid that he really, really liked a lot, and then he gave it to his brothers when he got older, and so we just used it. We asked if we could borrow it, and they said that we could. We just thought it looked really cool. It looks kind of magical, and it does have a lot of detail as well, so that works really well too. I believe it was originally from Goodwill, if I remember the story correctly. And then we also have the baskets. These were the baskets that we had at the farm, and then this might have been the basket that Duffledock had his vegetables in. These are just wicker baskets. We got them from Goodwill for like $4 or something. So we try and get a lot of our stuff cheap if we can. We'd rather spend our money on our equipment, upgrading our equipment, because as you know, technology updates so quickly. We're trying to keep up. Now I'm going to show you some of the costumes that we used for Kingdom of Wishes. This one right here had two purposes. This was used for the king when he was following Amelia and Gaffen and Duffledock and Xanda, and this was also used for the evil creature in the cave. For the evil creature in the cave, we just used some effects to turn it red, and he also had these gloves. These are actually just Tim's work gloves, as you can probably see. They are a little dirty. He works outside, but these worked really well because of the way the background on the back of the gloves is designed. It kind of looks like skeleton or veins when you put all the effects in the video, so that actually works really well. This also has a nice long tear down the side. We did that when we did it at the lava rocks because it was just hard for Tim to navigate the lava rocks having his legs constricted, so we just tore that so he would be a little more able to move freely. And then we have the king's robe right here. I believe we ordered this online, and it doesn't have any sleeves, it just ties right in the front. Let's see if I can find the ties. There's the ties. And it's had a fair amount of wear and tear. When we took it to the stone house, which was the castle, there was some ash on the wall, and Tim would lean up against the wall and it would get a little dirty, but it actually fared pretty well. So this is the robe, and the king also had this crown, so those came together. And then there's Amelia's, I guess sweater dress, sweater jacket, I don't know. But here it is. We actually ordered this. There is handmade from recycled sweaters, and we liked the colors, and so we thought this would be a good thing for a peasant, but also just a totally different look, more fun and alive. And it has a nice hood. I wear the hood in the first episode that I'm in, but it's actually the second episode of the season. But other than that, it's typically down. And it was fairly warm when we were filming, so I didn't want to have it up anyway. But this is that costume. And then for the brief scene that Amelia was shown as queen, this is just another sort of sweater dress. And I've had this for a long, long time. I got this as a Christmas present years and years ago, but we thought it worked pretty well under the king's robe with the crown. So I wore this, the crown, and the king's robe when I was shown as queen, and I pulled my hair back in a bun for a more royal look. Oda Coleus also had a costume, but that was not something we provided. He actually already had that. As Professor Laughmore, he does some performances as Professor Laughmore. He already had a peasant costume, so that worked out really well.